Hello everyone and welcome to Rad Chat Live at UKIO 2025. My name's Namanjolka Anderson and I'm joined by fellow host Joe McNamara.
Hi everyone.
So we've got another lovely guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself please?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Nick Barlow. I'm a consultant radiographer working for myself in teleradiology.
So tell us, what got you into being a diagnostic radiographer?
Do you know, it's I'd love to say that it's something I'd wanted to do since I was 5-6 years old, but that I don't think there's many people that say that in radiography. So it was a friend of my mum's that worked in Department of Health, and I was sort of at crossroads with what to do. I was a bit unsure, and she said, radiography is really up and coming profession. Why don't you get involved in that? Because I wanted to do something that helped people, that made a difference. So, and the more I looked into it, the more I thought, because there's so much variety in radiography, isn't there, as you know. So I thought, this could be something I could really get to grips with. And so went on to do diagnostic radiography, and I was unsure whether to do the therapeutic and diagnostic. So I had a bit of time trying to weigh up, and then eventually I thought, now I'll try diagnostic, and never look back.
Can I ask, what led you to become a consultant radiographer and not going into like full-blown management?
I wanted to still have that clinical side, so the patient interaction. Not that you get loads in as a consultant, and I don't get any now, ironically. But I just management. I think it's one of them things where it's either for you or it isn't. And I was more like the leadership side, so I wanted to bring people on to motivate them, inspire them, to help them, train them. But be there on the shop floor, and consultancy allowed me to do that. Whereas I thought, with management, really important role, but it's a bit more. It can be a bit more separate. So that's what really appealed to me about consultancy. Is still the patient contact, but also you're leading people, you're helping to shape a team, to shape a new service. So that's what really drove me on.
So Nick, do you want to tell us what you currently are doing?
So I have stepped away through the NHS. So as I said, I work for myself now, and I work in teleradiology. So I work from home 100%. So I have stepped back completely, more for work-life balance than anything. So I have 2 young children, twin boys, 6 years old, and in my job, as good as it was, I was reporting all the time, but then I was having to bring some work home. I wasn't getting enough time with the family. So, and then I'd been working in locum reporting for quite a few years prior to that. So I had quite a few contacts, quite a bit of experience in that type of area. So I thought, you know what? While this work exists and teleradiology was sort of coming to the fore at that point, I thought, you know what? Why not take a big step, come back, and it means I can manage my own work and my own boss, so I can still get involved in all the research and teaching, which is what I enjoy, and I still have people coming in, sit with me and mentor and help train them, but it's on my terms. I can arrange my week exactly how I want to. I can manage how much reporting I'm doing, how much CPD I'm doing, and it allows me a lot more time at home. So I'm very, very strict with it. I don't work weekends, I don't work bank holidays or anything like that, and I can spend a lot more time with my family, because that's why I'm doing this, So that's where we are at the moment.
What's the name of your business?
My business is Birch Image Interpretation Limited, but I work through locum companies. They send the work to me. So. Yeah.
And how do you get kind of contracts to get those reporting? How do you get the reporting business?
So I approach them individually. So they will have. Not all teleradiology companies have radiographers on board. It's still obviously quite a radiologist-dominated area, but more and more companies are realising that radiographers can do reports to the same standard, and it's becoming more and more popular, because the radiologists at the end of the day, they want to focus more on cross-sectional. It's not really appealing to them to do the plain film, so that's where we can come in and provide that service to the same standard, but it just means that the patients aren't waiting weeks for a result. And particularly when it comes to we get a lot of GPs query malignancy. You don't want these types of patients having to wait a month, 2 months to get a result, to then have to go on to further imaging. You want them to get sorted out quickly. So that's where we come in, really.
What do you think some of the challenges are of your role now that you've kind of stepped away?
I think the personal challenge is the isolation, because I'm on my own. It's a one-man band working from home 5 days a week, so you go from working in big teams, and I've been very lucky actually. I've worked in some amazing teams over the years, really talented individuals, but real good people as well. So really good team ethic, everyone got on well with each other, and that makes a big difference. So to go away from that social element to being on your own, I mean, it feels like I'm retired in a way. It's really strange, and I'm only 36. It's that's taken years to adjust to. It's taken a couple of years for me to really get my head around that lone working. I mean, that's why I still come to things like UKIO. I'm involved in a lot of groups, so I'm a trustee for the Benevolent Fund. You did a really good episode with them. I'm on the consultant radiographer advisory board as well, so I'm still involved, in these decision making on a national level. Even though I'm kind of working separate, I still want to get involved. And I think from that social point of view, you have to have that, because I do, because otherwise I'd go insane if it was just on my own all the time. So that's been the toughest thing, and also winning people over. I think in this role you have. I mean, I don't want to be controversial, but you have different attitudes towards NHS reporters and local reporters, because the people in the hospitals don't see you. They don't necessarily know your capabilities, whereas obviously they all know the reporting radiographers in their team, so the radiologists will have had a hand in their training. They can oversee the standard of the reports, the way they lay the reports out, whereas if you're coming in from the outside, it's very much so it can be hard for people that work in this sector to win that confidence. I mean,
do you get feedback, like on your reporting?
Yeah,
is that something that happens, or
only when you get something wrong, usually.
Okay.
Right. I very occasionally I have had thank you cards from the teams, from the way that we work with them, and we and occasionally I think I could probably maybe 4 or 5 times where radiologists have said, actually you've done an amazing job there. I'm really impressed with the standard of the reports. But usually, because everyone's so busy, and this is the same in the NHS and within radiographer-led reporting services, really, because we're constantly auditing each other. But it's very, very easy to forget when people do things well, because it's your job. You just expect people to do these things and get things right all the time. So usually the only kind of feedback is if you've missed something or someone disagrees, and that can be quite difficult in itself. That can be quite hard to actually take a step back and say, yeah, we do get this feedback on it, but actually we are doing a great job, because we report maybe 20,000 a year and you get 5 wrong. Well, that's actually incredible, really. It's human errors, like 1% to 2%. We're all human. We are going to make mistakes, but it's about how you learn from them, and it's about remembering actually, you are doing a great job. I mean, you wouldn't be in the job if you weren't, basically. So yeah, so.
And your recent venture has been a YouTube channel. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's right, yeah. So my channel, Nick Barlow Radiology, is something I started just over a month ago. And basically, I had my own website doing courses on X-ray interpretation. And they were really well received. I did some for charity. And there was about 200-300 people on these courses, but the problem with the courses is so much admin involved, and some of these were an hour, 2 hours. So for people to join them, very difficult to get the time. So I thought, how can I do it in a way that is really accessible to people, that will include everybody? Because some of these courses, I mean, not mine really, but some of the bigger courses are very expensive. And if you're a student or if you're a radiographer trying to aspire to go into reporting, can be very off-putting, because a lot of the trusts, they don't have the money to fund people to go on these courses. So I thought, why not just do a series of 5-10 minute videos on YouTube on a specific area of X-ray interpretation, whether it be elbow fractures or Salter-Harris fractures or pneumonia, bowel obstruction, whatever, and just have a bank of little teaching videos that people can access for free, and just have that bit of CPD, that constant bit of CPD every week, and they can listen to and from work. And really fit it around their lifestyle and not be intrusive. So that was the idea. I'm also looking to bring in a couple of videos about careers, how to get into reporting, consultancy and radiography. I've done one on teleradiology, whether that's something suitable for people to go into or not, the pros and cons, and I'll hopefully start bringing in from other modalities to talk about their experiences as well, radiotherapy as well, get hopefully different guests and talking about their experiences. So that's the idea, but primarily it's about X-ray interpretation, and for students, for radiographers that want to go into reporting, for current reporters, junior doctors, whoever really, anyone with an interest, and hopefully that's a nice little free resource for them to use.
Amazing.
Sounds amazing. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on and sharing.
No worries, thanks for having me.